So in today's video, I forgot to take my microphone cable to the gym, so I'm going to do a voiceover. Starting off today's video with a little bit of posing. So it was a snowy day today, and I kind of had this idea of doing like a bodybuilding-ish snow picture. So yeah, just some snow posing in the beginning, and then I'll talk after the posing. So for today's workout, um, I kind of wanted to blend in a little bit of stability and mobility movements. Starting off with overhead landmine staggered squats. So already with the staggered stance and the offset load, there is a lot of compensation muscles, so like all the muscles responsible for stability and managing like offset of load are activated when I do this. Um, Also, while doing the squats, I'm staying on my toes, which keeps my big toe and all the other toes engaged. Um, which, like, it's hard to really tell it without having anyone experience it, but once your toes and calves and stuff get really strong, the way you feel when you move in your everyday life feels quite different and really good. And so that's why I like doing movements like this, things that challenge many different systems of the body. And yeah, also supersetting with some kettlebell swings to a simple front flip. Um, uh, Trying to keep the heart rate up with this. Also, I've been noticing that don't use my hips really well when I do kettlebell juggling. So at least initially in today's workout, I really wanted to focus on that and really get my hips and glutes engaged as part of the kettlebell swing and flip. But yeah, that was the first superset of the workout, and I did about I think 8 sets of that. This is actually one of those 8 sets. Um, Went heavier, so I added another 25, and then as you can see, I'm maintaining the staggered stance and doing an overhead squat. The overhead, holding it overhead forces a lot of sta stabilization muscles in the shoulders to be activated in order to hold it in place. If you are someone with really immobile shoulders, this will be a really hard movement to do, and it'll expose like some of the weaker areas of your body. In an effort to not let that happen, I make sure that I train those using movements such as overhead squats on different kinds of resistances. Um, in the middle so as you can see, the kettlebell juggling movement is a little different. So I was kind of getting bored with the simple swing to flip, so I wanted to throw in some snatches just to challenge myself. But also, snatches, as you can see, the ending position is behind the head and forces a lot of the like stabilization muscles in the shoulder area, like the scapula, rotator cuff, rear delts, and all of that. Serratus too, to help uh, like catch and hold the weight, and then uh, yeah, stay stable and not let your shoulder fall out of place while doing it. For the next uh, exercise, so like today, what I did was like a lot of the same movement, but a lot of sets of the same movement. So the second movement was skater deadlifts, or some might even argue it's skater squats, but I think it's skater deadlifts since the weight starts on the floor. Um, so this really helps hit the groin area, um, or adductors, and um, I'm not a huge fan of the abductor and adductor machines. I'm not a huge fan of machines in general. I usually try to find movements that are free weight, that help target uh, those muscles. The other thing with this is you can notice how outstretched my leg is. So there's a huge mobility component to it. The stronger I get at this movement, uh, and the farther and the more I'm able to stretch my legs apart while loading the weight, uh, like I'm not only going to get strong groins, but I'm going to get long groins, which essentially means like I'll be able to do a split the stronger I get in this. So, I mean, I guess a split is the end mobility target of, I guess, that of the hips. So, I guess that's what I'm going for. And the kettlebell juggling, I'm doing a clean high row to a simple front flip, clean high row front flip. But yeah, so that was, I guess when you pair movements like that, it's called a complex. So that was the complex I decided to do for that set. Although I don't think I did the same thing for all sets. Then ending off with some abs. So I like doing the ab wheel on the landmine. Uh, so like the landmine curves as it rotates, so you're able to unilaterally hit one side of the abs with the ab wheel, and it's also like a uniquely challenging movement, and at least personally, I'm able to get a really good stretch and mind muscle contraction while doing this. And also, because of the unilateral nature of it, I switch sides in between the set and do 5 reps each side. Um, but yeah, a really cool movement to try out. You might also notice there's a clip on the landmine. The reason for using a clip on the landmine is otherwise, while rotating, the plate moves, and then the plate hits your palm midway through the set, and that's annoying. And ending off with some sideways clean to throws. But as you can see, I dropped the kettlebell, and that happens, uh, you know, fairly often, especially if it's a new movement that I'm trying out, or if I've, so like I was doing front flips, and now I'm going side to side. So your body kind of gets conditioned to doing the front flip, and then going into the side becomes a little weird. But yeah, it's almost like learning to dribble a basketball. Like, initially you have to focus on just dribbling it one way, but then you're doing it between the legs, and then you can combine both of those things. Um, Doing kettlebell juggling allows me to keep that coordination aspect of athleticism going while handling weight, and all this tossing stuff around really engages your muscles in a way that you don't really get to otherwise. I've I've noticed a lot of differences in my like the way I feel, the way my physique is starting to look since doing these kinds of workouts, and I would recommend people giving a shot, even if it's not the flipping. you can just do the sideways simple movements without having to rotate the kettlebell. You can just do alternate kettlebell swings or kettlebell swings. But yeah, that was it for today's workout. Like the video if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel. New videos every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.